Hello students, welcome back. So in this session, we are going to be talking about AWS Lambda and connecting AWS Lambda with HTTP API gateway. So what we will do is we'll build a serverless AI API and we would be using AWS Lambda. This will run your Python code. And then we will also use Amazon's API gateway. This is going to expose the HTTP endpoint. And we are going to test our API endpoint using Python. That would be one. Also test it using Postman and also test it using some online tools. So the goal of this demonstration is this. I will be creating an API that will look something like this. And it will take an input. That will be a text. It will send a sentence. I love learning API. I love AWS Lambda because it is easy. It will send a text like this to your API. And the API will send an output. And the output would be something like this. It will have a result. It will say positive sentiment because there's a word like in it and there's a word love in it. So based on this, it's going to produce a positive sentiment. If you say something opposite, maybe I hate learning API, AWS Lambda makes me angry, it is going to give you an output sentiment as negative sentiment. So we would be using a simple rule-based AI sentiment analyzer. Later on, you can replace with your real machine learning or an open AI API. The architecture that I'll be following would be something like this. The client, that is you, he will send a request to your API gateway. That will be number one. And then your API gateway is going to invoke this AWS Lambda function. That will be your step two. This is where your Python logic sits. Then your AWS Lambda is going to return the response to your API gateway. API gateway is then going to return the response back to your client. So that would be my number four. And when API gateway returns the response to your client, it would be in a JSON format. Now your client, it can be either a Python code, it can be regular Postman application, or it can be a regular browser application. So now let's go ahead and create the Lambda function. So I'll be following these steps. So step one, create Lambda function. I'm going to go to AWS and I'm going to search for Lambda. So let's go ahead and do that. So come over here, type AWS console, enter, and you're going to see this AWS service. Go ahead, click on this and click on sign into console. If you do not have an account, go ahead, create one, it's free. And there you go. Then just come to the search bar over here. Type Lambda, 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 and you're going to see this option Lambda. Go ahead, click on this. Okay. Now, this is how my screen looks like. In your case, the screen may look a little bit different. It's possible. So you're going to see, nevertheless, you'll see an option somewhere over here, create function. So go ahead, click on create function. That's going to create the function for you. All right, now you're going to see this create function option over here. So you're going to see three options: author from scratch, use a blueprint, or container image. I'm going to stick with author from scratch. So this is the most basic one. Let's give it a name. What's the name of our Lambda function? So coming back over here, I'll be using, let's just come. In my case, the function name I'll be using is AI-sentiment-API. So come over here and type AI-sentiment. And there you go. It's actually already there. I did this before. Okay, so I selected this function name. Now, what type of runtime environment you want? Well, I'm using Python. So in this case, I'm going to choose Python. So if you scroll down, let's say I'm using Python 3.12. So I'm going to stick with Python 3.12. Architecture, I'm going to stick with x86-64. Depending on which architecture you want, you can select this one or the other or this one. So I'm going with this one. All right, then go ahead, click on create function. So that's going to take anywhere between 30 to 40 seconds for this function to get created. Just have patience. So while this is getting created, let's see what are the steps we followed. So runtime is this. We've selected this, create. Okay, this is good. So I did this part. This is done. This is done. This is done. Click create. This is done. Very good. Next step. Now I'm going to add the AI code. So I'm going to replace, this is the default code that I get. I'm going to replace this with my own code. So let's go back over there. Let's see if it's done. And okay, it's done. So now you're going to see the screen. I'm going to dismiss this message. I don't want this thing. I'm going to actually put my own code over. So this is my AI sentiment API. This is my Lambda function right here. Okay, so this is the code that's there right now. So I'm going to remove this code and I'm going to put my own code. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is the code. So let me copy and paste it over there. By the way, this code is provided in the description below, so you can just click on the link and that's going to take you to this file and you can just look at these codes. All right, come back over here and I just paste it. All right. So let me explain you this code real quick. What it's doing is that when you get this, when it calls this lambda handler function, it's going to receive two parameters, event and context. So it's going to check. Let me just scroll down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. All right. So in this case, check the body, get the text. If I have some list of positive words and negative words. So if my text contains any one of these words, like from the positive words or negative word, is going to use some type of logic to determine whether the message, whether it's a positive sentiment or negative sentiment. So in this case, I'm starting with store equal to 0, and I'm saying for every word in positive words, if the word isn't present in text, then increase the score by 1. On the other hand, if this word is present inside negative words, in other words, if you have these any one of these words, so you're going to decrease the score by 1. And then if the score is more than 0, if at the end, let's say your score comes out to be a positive score, so it's going to say positive sentiment, otherwise it's going to say negative sentiment. On the other hand, if your score is 0, okay, then it's going to say neutral sentiment. At the end, it's going to return this particular statement. Status code is going to be 200, headers is going to be application JSON, and this is where it's going to print out the result. This result is this one right here. It is going to be positive sentiment, negative sentiment, or neutral sentiment. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. So come back to my notes again. So in this case, after this, I'm going to click deploy. So come back over here, click on deploy, and wait for it. And there you go, updating the function. Successfully updated the function AI sentiment API. All right, this is good. Next step. Okay, this part is done. Now I'm going to show you how you create an API gateway. Now go to your AWS and search for API gateway and choose a HTTP API. So let's go ahead and do that. Come back over here and you're going to see search bar over here. Type API space gateway. And there you go. You see this API gateway. Go ahead, click on this. All right. Now we're going to create an API. So you're going to see an option somewhere on your screen saying create an API. So go ahead, click on create an API. And now you're going to see these options, HTTP API. Do you want to create a WebSocket API? Do you want to create a REST API? Or do you want to create a REST API private? In my case, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to create HTTP API. So let's go ahead, click on this build. Just wait for it. There you go. So now it wants the API details. So you have to supply the API name. So come back over here. And so in this case, let's see what name am I using. My API name is AI-API. So come back over here and type AI-API. All right. IP address, I want IPv4. Okay, I'm choosing this. I'm just keeping it simple. And click on add integration right here. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect this API to my Lambda. So anytime when a request comes over here, it's going to invoke the Lambda function. And what region? Okay, this is good. And what type of Lambda function that is? That would be AI sentiment API. You see, this is the same one we just created a minute ago. So it picks up that Lambda for you automatically. So click on this, and there you go. This is good. Click on review and create, and there you go. So this is good. Now let's go ahead and click on route. Let's fix our route now. So click on edit. Now, if a request is a post, I'm gonna actually entertain post request. So if a request is post and the resource path, what resource path I want? Let's come back over here. Oops, not this one. Sorry, the other one. That would be this right here. So in this particular instance, if my resource path, I'm going to use analyze. Okay, and integration target would be this right here. So let's go ahead, fix that. So come back over here, and resource path, I'm going to keep it as, I'm going to change this to analyze. Analyze. All right. Integration target, this is good. Everything looks good so far. I'm going to say review and create. All right, this is good. So everything looking good to me. All right, this is good. This is good. Everything's good. Okay, now I'm going to click on create and just wait for it. All right, your API has been successfully created. Now what you're going to do is click on this side right here, API. So this way we can get the access to the URL. We want to know what is the URL, and this is the URL right here. It's given to you, this one right here. So go ahead, copy this URL, and let me just come over here. There you go, copy this. And I'm going to put this thing in a notebook over here. All right, let me increase the size of the screen so you can see. This is the this is the URL. All right. Okay, so I got the URL. Next step, let's scroll down a little bit. Next step, create. Do not click on deploy, by the way. All right. Come back over here now. I got this. Clicked on this. This is good. And click on API left hand side. We did this part. We got this. We got this. This is done. Next. Now we are going to test our API. So the first thing I'm going to do is test using a Python code. So this is the Python code I'm using. You can just do copy and paste this code, and this is going to work just fine. Already have the code written down over here. So this is my code. I'm importing request, also importing JSON. You may actually have to install request library if you do not have it. So this is the URL. Okay, so let's go ahead and change this URL. So come back over here and copy this whole thing and come over here, and I'm going to put this URL out here. There you go. All right. Okay, so I got this URL and my header is this payload text. I love learning API. I like AWS Lambda because it is easy. And then this is my response. So I'm sending it to this. My post request is going to this URL. Let me increase the size of the screen so you can see. So my post request is going to this URL. That would be this URL. And my headers is going to be content type application JSON. That's my headers. And my data is going to be this payload. That would be this payload. So the text I'm sending is I love learning API. I like AWS Lambda because it is easy. Then I'm going to get the status code from the server. And I'm also going to print the response. So let's go ahead and run this and wait for it. And there you go. Message not found. Okay, what just happened over here? I did not type analyze. So / analyze. All right, let's run this again. Okay, there you go. Input, I love learning API. I like AWS because it's easy. Result, positive sentiment. Great, it's working. Come back over here. Now I'm going to change the payload. I'm going to make it into negative sentence. I hate learning API. AWS Lambda makes me angry. Let's see what this one returns. Let's run this. There you go. And the result is negative sentiment. All right, great. It's working. So come back over here, change it back just to make sure. All right, this is good. So I tested this using Python code. Now let's test the same thing using Postman tool. So my post request is going to be that particular URL I just created, and this is my body right here. So come back to my Postman. This is my Postman right here. And I'm going to take that URL. This is the one. I'm going to copy this and bring it over here. And by the way, just one side note, this should be actually / analyze because that's the and hold on, analyze because that's the resource path we choose. All right, come back over here, paste this guy over here. All right, post, make sure this is a post request. You're going to see all these options, so go ahead, select on post. This is good. And text, what text you are sending, this is the text I'm sending, so make sure you type this over there. All right, so I love learning API. I like AWS Lambda because it is easy, so I'm sending this text over there. So click on send and you should see a message written. There you go, result positive sentiment. Let's change this to I hate. Okay, I hate learning API. I Let's change this to angry. All right, AGNRY. And let's change this to because it is difficult. Let's see what are those. Oh yeah, actually let's make it angry again. Angry. All right, let's send it again. And there you go, negative sentiment. All right, that's good. So it's working through Postman. Now let's try to make this thing work through some of the tool. So come back to my notes. What are the tool am I using? Okay, so I'm using this RecBean. So this is an online tool. You can use that too. So you can just go on the web. So just come back over here and just type RecBean. Actually, I already have it. Yeah, this is the one. This is the website RecBean. So you can go over there and they provide you this option. So you can actually test your tool if you don't have a Python code or if you do not want to download anything. So you can type your URL over here. So let's do that. So I'm going to come over here, copy this and come back over here, and this is the place. Just copy this guy over here and make sure that you selected post. So you're going to see get, post, port, all these requests. I'm going to send post And what message I'm sending? I'm sending this message right here. So make sure you type this thing. So text, I love learning API. I like AWS Lambda because it is easy. Let me increase the size of screens. I hope you're able to see. Okay, and then click on send. And after you hit send, you're gonna see the message appear over here. So let's go ahead and click on send and wait for it. And there you go. It got the message, positive sentiment. Let's change this thing. I'm gonna change this to I hate, and I'm gonna change this to angry. Angry. Send it again and come back down, and there you go, negative sentiment. All right, great, it's working. So I showed you how you can test this using three different tools. You can use Python tool, right here. You can use Python code, that would be this. You can use Postman, showed you that, or you can use some online tool. Okay, after this is done, so a few things I want to explain you, some of the key points. Well, your Lambda, it's an event-driven execution. It only runs when you call your API. Otherwise, it doesn't run. Also, this one is a serverless architecture. There's no server actually. There's no AWS EC2 or any virtual machine running in the background. So there's no deployment headache. That's one of the advantage of that. Also, you saw how easy and how quick it was to create your API and integrate that with your Lambda. So that was very easy. And by the way, this is how your front end, your mobile app, or even your machine learning system, they talk to your cloud service. This is the logic that's happening behind the scene. So make sure after this is done, when you no longer this thing and need this thing, that you delete your API gateway, also delete your Lambda service. So let me show you how to do that. Otherwise, it's possible that they may charge you for something like this. So let's go ahead, delete that. So come back over here. Let's come over here. So this is my API gateway. So go ahead, click on APIs, and you're going to see your AI API. Go ahead, click on this, delete. It's going to ask you confirm. So click on confirm and delete that. All right. Now we're going to delete the Lambda. So go to Lambda. All right. Click on Lambda. And this is the Lambda right here. So go ahead, click on this and action, delete, confirm, and delete. And there you go, successfully deleted function AI sentiment API. All right, gentlemen, I hope this session helped. Thank you.